Georgia Commissioner of Agriculture is generally, apparently, a hard job to come by. There have only been 2 in the last 52 years to hold the job. Mr. Tommy Irvin was in office 42 years. Most recently, Mr. Gary Black. I'd like to introduce you to Georgia's new Commissioner of Agriculture, Tyler Harper. Mr. Harper, thank you for being with us today. Welcome to Savannah, and welcome to what's pretty close to your first official day on the job.
It is pretty close. It's good to be with you, and it's awesome to be the next Commissioner of Agriculture for Georgia. Next Thursday, the January 12th, is when we officially get sworn in. But it's great to be in Savannah at the Fruit and Vegetable Conference, and just good to see so many friends and colleagues and farmers and producers from all across Georgia. But I'm really excited and looking forward to this opportunity and leading our state's #1 industry. And so it's good to spend a few moments with you to talk about that.
Now, many states have a Commissioner of Agriculture. State by state, that job has more or less significance depending on how important agriculture is to that state.
That's correct.
Georgia is one of the powerhouse seats.
Yes, sir.
That's why we saw Mr. Irvin keep the job for 42 years.
Right.
But if we look back to the beginning of his tenure, to the time Mr. Black came on board 10 years ago, that was a different Georgia. That was a different agriculture. That was the days of truck farming and boys, let's throw it in the pickup and drive it to the market and see who will buy it. From the beginning of Mr. Irwin's tenure till the end, that had changed dramatically. But in the last 10 years, Mr. Black brought a very business-like approach to Georgia agriculture. In my opinion, and the opinion of others, transformed Georgia agriculture, modernized it, brought it into the global arena.
That's right.
And now drops it in your lap. What is ahead as you're looking forward in your administration? What's the future look like for Georgia agriculture?
You know, I think you kind of hit on it. We've come a long way in agriculture, not only here in Georgia, but nationwide. I mean, agriculture has advanced so far. You know, in the mid-1950s is when the first time that there were more tractors in the field than there were mules. And that was just 70 years ago. When you think about that, and the advancements we've seen in agriculture in the last 70 years have been phenomenal, but just the advancements we've seen in agriculture just in the last 10 or 15 years are just as phenomenal. You know, today we're getting to a point to where we have automated equipment and automated tractors that operate themselves in the field. And you know, the technological advancements we've seen in genetics and science and technology have allowed farmers and producers to produce more of a crop on the same amount of acreage than they did just 5 years ago.
100,000 Vidalia onions per acre.
Yes.
And just some of the concentrations that we see.
That's
Now,
right.
of course, farmers today have problems that farmers 50 years ago never had to think about, like finding labor, access to water, a raft of government regulations that just seems to get taller and more tangled every day.
That's right.
How do we make it not cumbersome for farmers to do their jobs? How do we look forward? How do we tackle problems like labor and water? And I realize we're not going to solve it right now, but that's all got to be part of what keeps you up at night.
Those are really big issues you've named, and that does help. It does keep us up at night. You know, addressing those issues head on, or what we're going to work to do every day as the next Commissioner of Agriculture. Labor and water, the supply chain are all important issues, but we can solve them by investing in new technology, investing in the next generation, teaching our young men and women that there are opportunities in agriculture that maybe they otherwise did not know. You know, we need scientists and geneticists and chemists to work alongside of new and beginning farmers and producers.
IT people, technical operators,
That's right.
people who understand how to use some of
That's
this
right.
amazing new equipment
That's
and the
right.
programs that run it.
You know, my grandfather and my great-grandfather, you know, they plowed behind a mule. And today on my farm, I have a tractor that drives itself, and with the GPS technology, just like a lot of producers do across America.
Sure.
But you know, I also have what I tell people all the time, the advantage I have over my grandparents is I got a cab with AC and air conditioner. You know, we've come a long way in agricultural technological advancements, but we also need those young men and women who understand that new technology and can help take us to that next level. And investing in our family farms here at home in Georgia is part of that. Getting more of that retail dollar back to the family farm is vitally important for the survivability of our family farms.
And we also
here.
understand now it's not just producing it in the field, it's also finding the right market for those crops.
And that's what, part of the role of the Georgia Department of Agriculture and my role as commissioner is going to be helping find those markets for our producers. So not only encouraging new family farms and new operators to get involved, but helping them find markets to produce their product, adding value to their product, finding markets not only here in the state of Georgia, not only domestically, but also internationally. And we're going to work to do that every single day to ensure that every family farm in the state of Georgia is successful, and working with our counterparts across the country to ensure that American agriculture is successful, because at the end of the day, American agriculture is national security. It is important to our nation's national security infrastructure.
Maybe nothing more important. We all remember the days that we were dependent on foreign oil. Folks, if we are ever dependent on foreign food, they got us where they want us.
Which is why we've got to do everything we can to support the Georgia farmer, Georgia producers, American producers. So we're providing our own food, fiber, and shelter right here for ourselves in our own borders. And when we do that, we are more safe as a nation, as a country, as a state, as a community, and that's going to be part of our focus as the next commissioner, ensuring that our lawmakers, both in the State House and in our nation's capital, understand that, and we're going to take that message far and wide, and we just hope our farmers and producers join with us in helping us ensure that we get that message.
And we are also more secure as an economy when we do that. Now, those are the challenges that will keep you awake at night.
They will.
I'm sure what will keep driving you is the opportunity to serve in one of the powerhouse positions in agriculture and one of the strongest states in the nation.
Georgia's ag economy is very strong and is a huge player in the ag industry, not only domestically but internationally. And Georgia Department of Agriculture was established in 1874, and I'm the 17th ag commissioner in that almost 150-year history. So that goes to show you how powerful not only this position is, but the fact that only 17 Georgians have ever served in this role, and it is an honor of a lifetime for me to do this. And I look forward to working with Georgia producers and family and consumers across this state, as well as my counterparts across the country, to ensure that we continue to allow Georgia agriculture and American agriculture to thrive. And I'm looking forward to hitting the ground running next Thursday and getting to work on day one, and it's really exciting, and I look forward to this opportunity and following behind Commissioner Black and picking up the reins where he's leaving off. But it's going to be a great opportunity.
Like I said, it's a hard job to get, but once you get it, you keep it. I'm sure we'll all get to know Mr. Harper very well. In Savannah, Georgia, I'm Chip Carter from Where the Food Comes From, reporting for RFD-TV.